Opponents and supporters of a proposed amendment to Cleveland's charter went toe-to-toe today ahead of voters heading to the polls in November. Issue 24 would dramatically shift oversight of the Division of Police to a panel of civilians, especially when it comes to officer discipline. News 5's Jordan Vandenberg has more.
Supporters of the lengthy proposed charter amendment say that it will increase accountability and transparency. Detractors, on the other hand, say that the details of the proposal are problematic. In the nearly 7 years since entering into the consent decree, the Cleveland Division of Police reports a 50% drop in citizen complaints and a significant reduction in use of force, especially deadly force. But when officers are accused of wrongdoing, supporters of Issue 24 believe the system remains broken.
Every single provision in here is a reaction to an actual, real, ongoing problem.
If passed, Issue 24 would create an oversight board of appointed civilians tasked with handing down officer discipline. Those citizens would be appointed, not elected.
This legislation takes that power out of my hand as the chief, out of the safety director's hands, and puts it in charge of civilians that have no training in police and what we do day in and day out. And the citizens of the city deserve better.
Supporters of the amendment, including several groups like Black Lives Matter Cleveland, say the critiques of the system have been hyperbolic, and instead of removing checks and balances, they say it actually creates them. But opponents believe it will only add bureaucracy, while exacerbating the shortage of 150 officers currently at the Division of Police.
All we're doing is saying there's one final person or one final group of people overseeing the safety director and the chief in a final check as to whether discipline was sufficient.
We can't order people to be Cleveland police officers. And if you make it so onerous and you make it, to where they're afraid to do anything, they're just going to leave.
Issue 24 promotes accountability, supporters say, but it's the voters that will be accountable as to its future on Election Day.
Over time, what should happen is that we should be getting a new generation of police officers who aren't a part of the old ways of doing business, the unaccountable culture.
They're afraid of this not being a fair process that they can engage in by a body that respects them and what they do day in and day out.
Issue 24 has also come up a couple of times in the mayoral race. Justin Bibb says he supports the measure. Kevin Kelly, on the other hand, opposes it. In Cleveland, Jordan Vandenberg, News 5.